Thing. Alright, so without further ado, I think I shall start. This is a review of Godfather World Season 3. In case you haven't read, links should be all in the description. I'm gonna be doing some character creation review as well as some major announcements coming towards the end of the stream. So if you want to, you can watch the playback if you did not join the live, because I know this time is kind of awkward, but it seems like 9 August is the big writing milestone since the beginning of Ball of Nothing. So I guess it's about 3 years, maybe 4 years. Yeah, about 4 years since I started writing e-fiction. So this is the 4th year, if I'm not wrong. And yes, I've moved on from Ball of Nothing. So this is Godfather World. It's season 3. So for those of you who know, season 1 and 2 was done like maybe last year or last year, something like that. It was like 2020 project, maybe 2021. Then I did not opt for the exclusive route, so it's non-exclusive, which I currently own the rights for, which is why I can do all these things, like do character creations with Krustallos, my BFF, artist friend who's talented AF, so yeah. Right, let me just cut to the chase and begin this, because I don't think I'll be here for like super duper long time. There's nobody, I'm talking to myself. Right, so this is Krustallos and my project for season 3. We have done a little bit of I've done a little bit of the writing, and she's done a little bit of the character art for me. So season 3 is kind of like a no-brainer. So before I start, this is Krustallos. You can find her on Instagram. Yes, so yeah, just follow her. Link is in the description. If you like her art forms as well, please go to her, ask for commissions. She takes commissions. Alright, so spoiler alert. This is going to be about season 3. If you have not read season 1 and 2 and you don't want to be spoiled about season 3, please do not watch this stream. Like, save it for another time. For those of you who have already watched and who are up to date with the latest chapter that's published on Good Novel as well as Patreon, right, you will know that season 3 is all about the fungi. More importantly, it's about the mushroom. I'm trying to keep this towards a light novel style, so you'll see that each book in itself, each season in itself, is not going to be as long as a full novel length, because it's around 40,000 to 60,000. I'm trying to keep it that length for publication on Amazon, and it's a little bit strange because before I actually launch it to Amazon, I have a big announcement that I'm going to do, which most of you would be excited for, because I think this is going to be the bomb. So it's about mushrooms. So for those of you who have not read Godfather World, this is about VR, like virtual reality gaming, but it's a battle royale between teenagers who come from mafia families, and they have to fight to be the next Godfather, which is why it's Godfather World. This is the dungeon version. Season 1 was the battle royale version, where they have to, survive and kill each other, kind of. It's a death game. And then there's another way to clear the game, which is not by killing each other, which is actually by clearing the dungeon game that's been created instead. So this mushroom arc is for the dungeon and not for the death game. The death game would be coming up, I don't know when, but it's enough, right? So this is gonna be like the live project at the moment, because there are like 100 levels of dungeons, and honestly, I think since I'm no longer with an exclusive contract for this work, or like I rejected the exclusive contract for this work, I can take my time, so there's no rush. I don't think it's a big deal to, really explore and enjoy myself. This is, right, so it's mushrooms. So let's take a look at the mushroom type. So they're all like dungeon monsters. So when I first started this, my research was crazy. I researched all kinds of fungi because I don't know many mushrooms. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not like a cooking expert. That's kind of like Dame Butterfly in like Droopy and like, all the other people's kind of thing, but not mine. So I can't guarantee anything. Whatever I found here is just based on the internet. Like, I googled weird mushrooms and I got some of the answers there. So this is the ones that I shortlisted that I wanted to model for my mushroom monsters. So the first one is a puffball mushroom. So basically these things look like I don't know, they're bigger than like footballs, but like they're completely white, and if you step on them accidentally, they kind of like explode into a cloud of spores That's what I saw. And then the second one that I shortlisted is this really weird, stinky mushroom. It's called the Veiled Lady Mushroom, which kind of looks creepy. I don't know why, but it exists. And I don't know if it's edible, so puffballs should be edible. Like, some say they are, some say they aren't. And then this pixie parasol. I have no idea what this is, but I kind of like how it looks like a jellyfish. So I chose these three to model off my characters. Alright, and then the drafts are here. So I actually wrote a little bit of the outline before I actually rewrote the entire arc of this dungeon second floor outline, because it was an 8-month hiatus between season 2 and season 3. I kind of forgot some of what I wanted, so I redid the whole thing. So these are the drafts. Alright, so I sent this to Krustallos as well. This is like part of my drafts. I recently got myself scrivener because I was influenced by Void Taoist, and I was like, this project is going to be huge. Like, Google Docs won't cut it. So I moved everything over. It was a very painful week or two when I had to move everything, redraft everything. And then I realized that I have missing character profiles. That was the worst. I have to create character profiles for the people, which I did. But I forgot to create character profiles for the NPCs in the game. And I was like, oh no, because there are so many spoiler alerts that I remember from season 2 and I don't remember it now. So I had to read everything all over again and then just update it accordingly, which was a pain. But it was necessary, so I'm glad it's over. So I gave her this. So Herbologist Honey is actually, okay, spoiler alert, it's an NPC in a dungeon floor. I'm not going to tell you what she does, but these are the things that I wanted to see. Like, I wanted to see these 3 mushrooms, so I based them off colors as everything I do. So white, and then there's purple, and then there's blue. And I was like, they are monsters, you see, so I wanted a theme. So I created this undead kind of theme. So there's a zombie mushroom, which is a puffball mushroom. There's a vampire mushroom, which is the Veiled Lady mushroom, because why not? And then there's, I don't know what this is, but I wanted something like a jellyfish. No, not really jellyfish. A mushroom that drowned people. And the only thing that I could think of about drowning is the kelpie. Because the kelpie is the horse that tries to look like a good person and take you over the lake, and then they will drown you in the middle of it. So I was like, yeah, I want that. And I modeled this after, which of course it kind of posed a lot of problems. And then the mushroom mask was just something that was random. Like, I kind of wanted this mushroom head image in my mind in a mask. So initially, okay, spoiler alert again. So Zen actually modeled his mask out of bandages, so he kind of looks like a mummy. So the mushroom mask should be by right. It was meant to be an upgrade. I don't know what it turned out to. You can check for yourself what it was later. So this, based on this information, Krustallos actually gave me this sketch, and yeah, so she gave me this sketch without even asking, like, oh, what kind of details do you want? And I was like, before I could say anything, it was already out. And then she added color to it, so it's like watercolor. Yeah, so as you can tell, it's there. It's kind of like the vibe, but I don't quite vibe with a lot of things. The one thing that I really liked here was the blue pixie parasol, but it kind of not fit the image of drowning people. It looks like a good kind of mushroom monster, and I was like, no, we have to kill him. Like, you know, yeah, anyways, it wasn't what I wanted. Yeah, so I asked her for some revisions, which obviously I thought they were going to be like minor changes because it looks great as it is. And I kind of liked it, the vibe in general, but I realized that it wasn't exactly what I wanted after talking to her and apologizing like multiple times, because like, I know you put in all the effort to kind of like draw this out. This would probably take me like 2 years, but you know, at the same time, it's not quite vibing with the things that I actually require. So I asked her for some revisions. So these are the exact things that I said. So for the puffball, my story was written in such a way that the puffballs don't really have legs. Think of them like clumsy penguins, but zombie-like. So they would trip constantly, they would roll over constantly. They didn't actually have legs, so to speak. Right, so some of the changes here that I initially thought would be, it's like, I don't want this tentacle-like leg substance. And also the purple spots kind of ruined the puffball vibes, because puffballs are like completely just, you know, white. And it looked like soccer balls but white. So this looks toxic. And I was like, she could leave in the kawaii chicks, I guess, if she wanted some kind of color. Like, I'm not against it. I think it's cute, but at the same time, it looks really disturbing having these purple spots on them. So it's not really puffball. So yeah, and then the mob's expression, like, this mushroom looks very fierce, but I wanted a very dumb zombie because puffball should be like the easiest monster to farm on that level. You just kind of like kick them and then they'll just scream and then they'll look around and then they'll just, oh, it's okay. They just go back to what they were doing. So the reference on the right is, I think it's Konoha from Lucky Star. Okay, so that kind of expression, I wanted a very dumb expression, like a little bit of drooling. So I wrote that down and I found out some references. You end up seeing like these are the revisions. So you can see like on the left, this is the previous version. It's very fierce. And then now when she changed it, it kind of looks better. So no more purple spots. And it looks really weak and very dumb. But I didn't quite like the reduced tentacles. Like, sure, the legs are smaller now, but whoops. Legs are smaller, but they're still legs, you see. So I was like, that one quite like, no, it doesn't. So Krustallos actually went and then she said, okay, how about we change it to like a stem, like a stump. And I was like, okay, this I can work with, like the one on the right. And then I had the idea because they were zombies. And then she said a stump. And then she said 僵尸, which is a Chinese zombie. And I was like reminded of the Chinese zombie that hops with their arms out like vertically. So I was like, wait, don't those things usually have a talisman pasted on their head, like a Taoist yellow talisman? So she drew that on. And alright, the random character that she wrote in here is actually Da, which stands for big. And I was like, no, let me just think of something else. Right, so this is Puffball version 2, the revisions that we made. I'll show you guys the final ones like later on. Right, so the next one that she did was the veiled lady. So the one on the left is the initial draft, but I like the fact that it's a veil and it keeps close to the lady kind of thing. So it's wearing a dress and there's a veil and it's flying. But I just don't understand, I don't understand how it's, similar to the ones on the right. Because as you can see, there are like holes in it. But this one is kind of just like a normal samurai-like veil. So I was like, no, not quite. Like, yes, it looks awesome, but at the same time, it's not really accurate because I want a more creepy vibe. And then Krustallos actually sent me an image that I didn't really put in. So, because it's too creepy. It's like very gory. It's like a human being full of wormholes, I think. It was terrible. And I was like shook. I was like, no, I'm not going to edit in. Like, I can't put this in. So yeah, so I asked for like a little bit of a revision because as you can see previously, this one was okay. I liked it as it is, but it's upright. And no, this vampire mushrooms kind of like hang upside down. So I wanted a revision. So yeah, there's a revision with that. And then I asked for flying attacking version. So this was the draft and I was like kind of, but not quite. So in the end we discussed it and then we came to a conclusion that we can't put holes in drawing because it will look... it would look very horrifying, I would say. Plus, the holes are kind of like subtle. It's kind of like a spider web thing, which I later on got the idea. It's like, okay, if it's like spider web-ish, why don't we make it like a web instead? So that was an extra revision on that. It's like minor details, but it's all the details that matter, And then for the pixie pearl, so because I really liked it, like if you see the first draft, the color draft, it's so pretty. But these dangly things kind of make it look like it's being sheltered from water. But the truth is, this monster is going to... It's like a siren or mermaid. You're going to try to lure the adventurers in and say, hey, take a ride on my boat umbrella kind of thing. And then drown them in the middle of the lake. So Krustallos suggested, like, how about we put a lily pad? So I kind of was like, a lily pad? Yes, it does work, I guess. But no, I wanted the mushroom to be like the main focus, not the lily pad. So yeah. And then we had the idea, was like, how about we flip it upside down? And I asked her, I was like, what about those nice dangly bob things? And she's like, oh, it's okay, I can dangle the other way. I was like, okay, I don't quite get it, but yeah, maybe we should try. So we tried. And then the last part is the mushroom mask. So if you can see, it's completely different. The mushroom mask over here looks like a samurai hat with, I don't know, something that you can tie at the back. But the mushroom mask that I actually wanted was closer to like a gas mask kind of thing. So on the left is your regular gas mask. I think it's steampunk. So we had this draft whereby we tried, because I said I wanted to see the character's eyes. But I also wanted the mushroom head, so I was confused. I was like, how do you do both? Which, after a while, she told me it was possible. So I said, okay, we can fix the sides and I can still see that it's truly the character wearing it. That'll be fine. So this was the draft. It kind of looked odd from the part with the mask and the mushroom head because there's like no relation. You can do without the head if you just wear the mask. So we wanted it to be like one piece, like together. That was the problem. Alright, so final review. Alright, so the puffball mushroom became like this. So it's the one you saw from the YouTube thumbnail. Oh my god, it's blurry. Is it very blurry? Alright, so because its original image given to me is like really small. So anyway, so I changed the character from Da, which means big, into Xiang, which means fragrant. But it's not really fragrant because it's a zombie. But the Xiang comes from Xianggu, which means mushroom in Chinese. So I was like, Jiangshi, zombie, Chinese zombie mushroom with like, you know, Xianggu. I think it's befitting. So like double irony. So I like that a lot. And the kawaii chicks were kind of like removed because like zombies don't actually blush because like, you know, blood circulation and the whatnot. Like, yeah, okay. So we did that without, and it still looks great. So I really liked it. Yeah, I think this is like going to be the mascot of season 3 itself. It's so adorable, which I will let everyone know the announcement that I will do later. Alright, and then there's this little animation of a jiangshi hop or like a zombie mushroom hop. So yeah, as you can see, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they just it's so cute. This is like season 3's highlight and icon, I guess. It's so adorable. And then we have this, so it's vampire veiled lady mushroom. So we changed the orientation, so it's kind of hanging from the ceiling right now. It looks better that way. And then after that, there is this flying thing, the flying version. I don't know if you can see it, but the lines are very faint. It's still there. It's the details that I wanted, like a little bit of a spider web thing, so there's like holes. It's not completely opaque. And I have to change a little bit of the writing part after I saw the art because I kind of like the art more than the original concept. So I adopted it into the book instead. So now this veiled lady vampire, they don't really fly as in flapping wings because there are holes in the wings, but they kind of bob. Kind of like just bob across like jellyfish, just bouncing across everything. So that's how they fly. Like the mechanics of it doesn't really go together, but I guess it works. So that's how it is right now. I have not gotten to that arc yet, so I have to get to it. Right, and then we changed the pixie parasol mushroom because I really like the pixie. And then we turned the mushroom like upside down. And then I had this brilliant idea because Krustallos was like, how about put a light at the top? And I was like, hell yeah, it can look like, you know, the anglerfish whereby they lure their prey into the dark and then they just... It kind of works that way. So I haven't actually designed how this mushroom works, but based on this image, I think it's very possible. So it's like a Venus flytrap with like a... Yeah, with like an anglerfish thing. So it's like a look pretty. So it's like, it's a combination of things really. I don't know why my mushrooms are... Yeah, they are kind of like hybriding with sea creatures at the moment. So yeah, so this is the pixie parasol. By far, the prettiest monster has to be this. Right? My god, it's so noisy downstairs because it's like National Day for Singapore right now. It's yeah, but I'm not celebrating. Alright, and then there's this. So the mushroom gas mask, as you can see, was changed from that kind of face mask into this. So the mushroom head is part of the mask itself, and then there's this glass piece with a frame thing, so it still can be seen that this is the character wearing it. So I guess it's okay. Yeah, my mom actually liked this a lot, so yeah, I guess it's a win-win. Right, I don't really know if Hernie is gonna have like a moment like that because she was the originator of this, so this invention is really something. So now it doesn't look as odd, and it's actually like really cute because it reminds me of the hats itself. Right, so this is the gas mask. Alright, so the final product, this is what I received. I just cropped out the pieces to let you guys have more of a close-up. It's drawn in pencil, color in watercolors, paint, and it's done on like paper. So of course, this is not like the final product kind of thing. This is more like a showcase on concept of what it's been, but the concept is fixed, so this is how it looks like now. I know there are spelling errors, but I'm gonna change it. Like, not all the names are fixed, but the images that I'm gonna use, yes, those are fixed. Right, so any questions so far? I guess we have people here. Danger Daily is on. I mean, I don't really want the puffball to change colors based on like emotions because it's not a chameleon. It's not a chameleon. Besides, the key selling point here is the zombie color. So it's like this color of beigeish white. That's fine. I don't want to change that too much. Maybe I will create a monster in future that changes color accordingly, but not this one. Like, I have many arcs coming down the road with like fantasy creatures. Like, it could be one of them. I roughly have like the outlines of it. So yeah, if you are interested, let me know. Right, but not this. So this inspiration. Okay, some of the inspiration. So the zombie mushroom actually comes from a puffer fish, as well as the jiangshi, as well as the whale. You know, the whale when they breathe and then the water comes out. It's like psst. Yeah, it's the same. But the puffer fish, it will actually inflate itself when it's angry and it's about to explode. So it's like a suicide bomber. I don't know what's with me and bombing, like suicide bombing, because in season 1, if those of you remember, the black egg is a ticking time bomb as well. Like the red one was my favorite because it's like an egg with legs, like chicken legs. It just runs around. That was like fun. My favorite has to be red egg in like season 1. Season 2, my favorite has got to be all the slimes. Yeah, basically everything in season 2 is a favorite because they are like slimes, you know, Rimuru-sama. In season 3, it's like definitely the zombie mushroom. So these are my inspirations for it. It's a hybrid. And as you can see, I take a lot of hybrid from the sea. Alright, the next one is vampire mushroom. Obviously, they have to have fangs because it's a vampire. And then it's a vampire but vampire bat kind of thing. So they live in caves. There's a cave arc. And then there's also this, which is like a spider web thing. Because I didn't like the holes version in the... was that the veiled lady mushroom, so I kind of modified that. So we used this web-like structure, but whether or not it's functional, I don't think so. I won't make it functional. It's like too complex. Maybe in a boss monster, but not this. Like in future, for future ideas. Right, and then this is the inspiration for this pretty looking one. Not all the pictures here for inspiration are pretty. So the first one, as you can see, that's a horse with a fishtail. That is a kelpie. So a kelpie actually brings people across the water and then they drown them. So that is your horse, kelpie. The function of this mushroom is the same, the blue mushroom. And then after that, the light to attract. That one definitely comes from an anglerfish. So it's like a luring to a death pit. So there were like too many inspirations where these came from. Like Venus flytrap or Peach's Plant. I think it's closer to Venus flytrap, where the mushroom that you sit on will just close up and then the pixie will kill you and eat you up on the inside. Alright, and then it also comes from like a little bit of a jellyfish thing. As you can see, these bobbing things on the top of the mushroom cap at the bottom near the pixie's leg. Yeah, those things come from there. So it just floats. It doesn't really swim. It floats. Alright, so now we come to major announcements. So before even all these things are going to be released as a paperback on Amazon or even edited as a manuscript, I will be launching merchandise first, and the first merchandise would probably be like the zombie mushroom. So the zombie mushroom is going to be an icon. The slime would be an icon as well. Yeah, so a few of these things we are working towards it. I have no idea when the release date is, but I'm still like in the planning phase. But I want to make merchandise first before even I launch the paperback. Why? Because it's cute and I just want to get it done so that I can have something to cuddle with when I sleep somewhat. Because I know people who are actually, when I showed these pictures to a few people, they immediately told me, oh my god, I want to own one of these. And that gave me the idea. I was like, yeah, there should be a merchandise. Like, why do I need to follow the conventional way of doing books first and then merchandise? Like, why can't I do merchandise first for the series and then the books come later? Like, that would work too, right? The chicken and the egg story. Like, I don't really care as long as I have both at the end of the day. That's fine. Alright, and then the next big announcement is that I'll be doing a short animated series for Godfather's World on YouTube channel. So on this channel, the main channel, and not the secondary one. Yeah, so I'm gonna be doing it. This is not really high quality production anime thing. So it's more like a, how do you say this? It's more like a art sound effect, then video clip transition and like shorts. Less than a minute kind of thing. Yeah, so I'm basing it on Lime, which is Zen's slime pet from season 2. Like the end of season 2. So it's more like a character introduction, a little bit of an omake kind of thing. That's how it's gonna work. So yeah. That's actually all for my presentation. It's 20 minutes. I'm so proud of myself. Alright, so there's another question. These are all creatures which will battle the MC. Read on if you want to find out, but yes, if they are monsters, of course. Either that or they will be farmed. It's just basic VR game things. Any other questions that I will take before I end the stream? I want to take a nap. It's a public holiday, but I'm doing this. I don't know why. No? No questions? Everything good? Right, so that's all. If you have any other questions and you missed the stream, it's okay. Just put down the questions in the comments. If they are spoilers, I will find you on Discord or you find me on Discord. So if they are not spoilers, then yeah, I will answer you here. And please keep questions relevant to Godfather World Season 3's review.